Hi everyone. So today we would be discussing regarding cost of conversion. So cost of conversion basically includes direct material, direct labor, other direct cost and overhead. So when we talk about overhead, it's the fixed and the variable overhead. So when we talk about the fixed overhead, so these are the indirect cost of production that remain relatively constant regardless of the volume of production, such as depreciation, maintenance of factory building, equipment, right of use of asset, etc. So when we have to allocate this fixed overhead to the cost of conversion, it is based on the normal capacity of the production facility. So there can be a case when the production levels are abnormally low. Then in that case, we have to unallocate overhead are recognized as an expense in the period in which they are incurred. So variable production overhead, when we talk about it, it means those indirect costs of production that vary indirectly or nearly directly with the volume of production, such as indirect material or indirect labor. So if you see here, there is an example of fixed overhead where like there is an example with a three case scenario. So where there is a normal capacity of 5 lakh unit of production by Pluto Limited per annum and expected fixed overhead is like 15 lakh. So fixed overhead based on the normal capacity is 15 lakh divided by 5 lakh, that is 3. Now the actual production is given. So in the first scenario, if you see the actual production is equal to the normal capacity of 5 lakh, so in that case the answer would be same like 15 lakh. So there is all the 15 lakh cost would be charged to the charged to the inventory, and now nothing will go to the P&L. But in the second case, if you see, the actual production is quite less as compared to the plant capacity, 3,75,000. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to first calculate here the overhead on the basis of actual. So basically always we have to take the higher of normal fixed overhead and actual, whatever is the higher. So in this case, normal production is higher, 5 lakhs. So basically what we have to do, uh, we have to first multiply 3,75,000 with 3, that gives us 11,25,000, and we have to reduce 15 lakh from 11,25,000, which will give us 3,75,000, which will be charged to the P&L as an expense. So basically here we have valued the actual products fixed overhead at the actual production of 3. We have not valued it with the actual production of 4. The reason is that like if we, it will overvalue and the loss of 3,75,000 will be included in the closing inventory, leading to a higher gross profit than actually earned. Then third is the case where the actual production is 7,50,000, which is more than the what we call normal capacity production. So in this case, what generally happens, just divide 15 lakh by 7,50,000, you will get a per unit rate of 2, then multiply it by the actual production 7,50,000, so you will get a 15 lakh as an answer. So entire 15 lakh would be recognized in the inventory cost. So basically what you can do, you can calculate the recovery rate of the overhead, and then you can use that while calculating the what is the fixed percentage overhead which is absorbed and what is the unabsorbed cost. There is one more example here where it is saying that the annual uh, production is 10 lakh rupees and normal level of production is 1 lakh. And if you see here, the difficulties of business was able to, with the difficulties, the business was only able to make 75,000 unit. So basically here it is given the other cost is 126. We can calculate the per unit cost by dividing 10 lakh by 1 lakh unit, which gives us 10. So the total would be 136. Then overhead to be expense would be total production overhead. We know what is that, 10 lakh. And what we do, we have 75 unit which we have produced this year, which is less than the normal capacity. So 75,000 into 10, that gives us 7,50,000. So rest would be charged to the P&L. Then there is one more example which state about the conversion cost. So if we see talk about the conversion cost, what we have to do, we have to add the direct material, labor and overhead, other cost and fixed and variable overhead costs. So in this question, if we see that first it is given about things about the raw material, that one component of X at a cost of 1205 each, and second component of Y at a cost of 800 each. So basically, and it is saying there sundry raw material at a cost of 150 each. So we will add these three numbers, that will give us 2155. The company incurs the following monthly expense. So it is given that the factory rent is 16,500 and energy cost is 7,500, selling and distribution cost is 10,000. So we know that selling and distribution cost is not part of the inventory, so we will exclude this cost. It will charge only to the P&L. Then each unit takes 2 hours to assemble. Production worker are paid 300 per hour. So basically here what we have to do, we have to calculate the labor cost. So basically for calculating the labor cost, what we have to do, we have to just 300 into 2, that gives us 600. Now we have to calculate the overhead, and we know that the production overhead are absorbed into units of production using an hourly rate. Okay, the normal labor of production per unit is 1000 hours. So basically what we can do, 16500 plus 7500, that's come 21 22,500 divided by 1000 into 2, that gives us 48. So we will add that number and it will give you 28.